Mikel, what's your verdict on the game tonight and also the sending off?
Well, I'm extremely proud of our team, the way we played against this type of opposition, how dominant we were. The first half that we made, where clearly we should have gone 3-4-0 up and killed the game, and that's what you have to do against this type of opposition. With the red card decision, he doesn't see the player. You have to know that he's a young kid. It can be a red card, but then Leicester has to play with 10 men after 42 minutes. Player, you have to know that he's a young kid. It can be a red card, but then Leicester has to play with 10 men after 42 minutes.
For which particular challenge?
For one challenge that is between the 40 and the 45 minutes, that has to be offside as well, red card as well.
Sorry, specifically which challenge are you talking about?
One challenge that is between the 40th and the 45 minutes.
What did you make of the fact that the referee booked Eddie Nketiah, but then went to the monitor himself?
I don't understand the rules. Since I've been in this country the last year, I never seen a referee check any of the images. It's the rules. We can do nothing. I can do nothing now.
Because it was a yellow card, you can actually appeal the red card now. Do you think you'll do so, and there isn't a possibility of a further game?
I don't know.
How damaging is it to lose him potentially 4-3 games in the running?
Yeah, we lost 2 points today that, in my opinion, we completely deserve. We lost Eddie. I don't know. They will decide now for how many games. It doesn't matter. We will go to against the Spurs again on Saturday, full gas to try to win the 3 points.
Taking the positives, what about the quality of your goal? The ball from Ceballos, Saka's control and the finish.
They prayed.
Taking the positives, what about the quality of your goal? The ball from Ceballos, Saka's control and the finish.
They played tremendously well. The fixtures that we are having in terms of time and recoveries are really, really difficult. But you can see the effort, the intensity and the quality that the players are putting in. That's what, again, I am extremely proud of our players.
Is your overall feeling one of frustration of what might have been tonight? What might have happened tonight?
Yeah, but we have to learn as well that when you play against this opposition, you have to kill them. When you have them, you have to kill them. And then it's the 4th time since I've been here that we play with 10 men. And it's not possible. For that long period to play like this against this opposition, you're going to suffer. I didn't like the goal we conceded, but it's part of what it is.
Mikel, thanks for your time.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Jamie, what's the overall feeling? Is it pride at getting yourselves back in the game, or frustration that you didn't manage to kill them off when they were down to 10?
No, I think we've got to say definitely pride getting back into the game. We had to keep moving the ball, keep them running when they've gone down to 10, and it was just all about being patient, and we've got one, and then after that we've tried going on to get the win, just wasn't too like to be.
How much was it about focus once they went down to 10, knowing what to do in those circumstances?
Yeah, 100% focus, but like I said, it was just down to keeping the ball, keeping it moving as quick as possible to get them running, try and tire them out a bit, and we've managed to nick one at the end.
How much was it a game changer, them losing a man?
I'm not too sure, to be honest. I mean, we started the game well. I think when we've gone 1-0 down, we've started panicking a bit. So it was about coming back out for that second half and showing what we can do. Obviously, going down to 10 men, it means that they work even harder to try and make that man up. So, like I said, we just knew we had to stick to our plan, keep moving the ball, and we've managed to get a draw out of it.
You got the goal, number 22 of the season. But you had a few sighters earlier in the game.
Yeah, I've absolutely scuffed one. I'll blame the rain, but I miss it completely, and then I think the next one I was just offside, but obviously delighted to finish that one off.
Did it fire you up at all? Aubameyang getting a goal as well? Because there's a red-hot race between the two of you.
No, you don't have to look at anything like that. At the end of the day, it's all about putting performances in for the club and picking up as many points as possible, and I've said before, no, you don't have to look at anything like that. At the end of the day, it's all about putting performances in for the club and picking up as many points as possible. And I've said before, it don't really matter who scores as long as we are picking them points up.
Also, as well, bear in mind the Champions League spots. Important to keep Arsenal at arm's length.
I think it was just important to get a result. Obviously, we got the win at the weekend, so we wanted to keep that momentum going, and we've picked up a point today. So now it's back into training and focusing for next week.
Well done, Jamie. Thanks for your time.
Cheers. Thank you.
Cheers. Thank you.
So his goal has got Leicester a point. Now then, Ian Wright, you happy that goal stands?
You know, when you look at it, you know, I could see in VAR where they trying to distinguish whether he touched it or not. But you know, we'll see it in a sec in slow mo. But you know, these are the margins we're dealing with now. You can see there, I think he's onside, but if Jose Perez touches it, which there, I don't know, it looks like something happens there for me. Can we see it from this side? If he touches it, then it's a whole different ball game. There's something move. See, Emil's not having it.
No, I'm not quite having that.
But like, you know, because of the margins we're dealing with, you have to check something. I don't know. I think it's just harsh on that side.
Yeah, the thing is, I think obviously the sending off changed a lot there. You know, at the end of the day, the game was there for Arsenal to see out, and then it was going to be difficult when you're one man down as well. And Leicester actually moved the ball quite well. The substitutes made a massive difference. Demarai Gray coming on, who crossed the ball. He's very tricky, and Harvey Barnes on the other side, who created problems. So you're going to get tired out after a while. So, you know, I think the substitute and the sending off made a massive difference.
OK, so I have one man who's perfectly happy with the goal standing, another one who's not sure. There's only one man to have the casting vote, the former Premier League referee, Dermot Gallagher, in the match centre. Come on then, Dermot. VAR looked at it. Are you happy that Vardy's goal should start?
Yeah, I am, Steve. I think everything depends on whether Jose Perez touches the ball as it comes in from Demarai Gray's cross. I think it bounces on the ground. We looked at it over and over again. You see here, I think his foot goes over the top of the ball. There's no evidence on any shot we've seen, Steve, where we can say he definitely touches the ball. And under them circumstances, a bit like the assistant can't flag unless they know they're offside. The VAR can't judge that he's touched that ball because he can't be sure. And therefore it goes through to Vardy, scores, he's got to give a goal.
Ian, you happy with that explanation?
Well, there's nothing I could say about that because, you know, I don't want to argue with Durham just for the sake of it. But, like, I totally understand what Dermot's saying there, but like I say, what we're doing now, we're dealing in such small margins. You know, Arsenal fans, just like myself, we're looking for something. Like I say, what we're doing now, we're dealing in such small margins. You know, Arsenal fans, just like myself, we're looking for something there.
Yeah, I agree with you, Wright. You know, that's how the game is. It's all about very fine margins, and this is such a fine judgment. I think the VAR has to be convinced that ball's touched Perez's foot.
Is that the bottom line? They have to be 100% certain he's touched the ball to rule the goal out?
Absolutely. And when you look at that, Steve, you know, we've looked at it over and over again, and nobody in the match centre is convinced that's touched his foot, and therefore you've got to let the game run on.
It's kind of biased that I saw a touch. Do you think that? You lot should have asked...
Surprise, Emil didn't.
You lot should have asked me, Derm.
This is straining our friendship, right, isn't it?
Listen, while we've got you here, Eddie Nketiah was on the pitch for 100 seconds. He didn't touch the ball. And while we may jokingly debate that goal, I don't think we need to debate this, do we?
No, I think it's a red card. What you would say, Steve, it's a great process, isn't it? You know, Chris Kavanagh gives a yellow card on field. You see the tackle here. The VAR looks at it, recommends that Chris goes across the screen. He then sees this. That's what he sees now. We all know that's a red card. You know, the lad, whether he's not up to speed or whether he's... That's what he sees now. We all know that's a red card. You know, the lad, whether he's not up to speed or whether he's, you know, just too hyped up, I don't know, but he wouldn't have meant to do that, but he has done it. Chris looks at that, he's had one look, and it's a red card. Nobody can argue with that. You
know, when you look at that, I think that he's come on and he's seeing one guy on the halfway line and he's thinking, if I touch that, I'm in.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I'm thinking there, Durham, because you know him, and obviously there's no malice in it from him. But he's thinking, if I get a clip on that, I'm through on goal, and to be honest, he's misjudged.
I agree with you 100%. You can see that he thinks, if I nick that, I'm away.
Yeah.
But he has misjudged it, whether it's because he's just come on, he's misjudged it, and his point of contact is so high, he's always going to get a red card for that if the referee sees it.
It's funny, Durham, because when you first saw it, it was almost like they just it was a collision. When you saw it, that could have been really bad for him.
And I think, Wrighty, that's why the referee gave a yellow card for exactly what you say when you first see it. When you then see it again, you realise the severity of it. And as I say, the process is great. Stuart sent him over the screen. He's looked at it. He's seen it like we have, and he said it's a red card. And we know, Wrighty, it is a red card.
And just finally, Dermot, that's only, I think, only the third time a referee's been recommended to look at the pitch side monitor. So a positive use of that once again to get to the right decision. Yeah,
absolutely. Because bear in mind that earlier in the season, if they hadn't been sent into the monitor, that may not have been a red card. But it was a red card, and justice has been done on that occasion. Brilliant, as always. Thank you for joining us, Dermot.
Thank you very much indeed. So he's cleared that. Well, you didn't need it cleared. Overall, Leicester worthy of a point tonight? Good value?
They huffed and puffed. I think going down to 10 men, you know, it's going to be take a lot out of the players, and it's difficult at times to keep people at bay.
It's that courage to keep encouraging them to play. You know, because we felt that when we made passes and connect the game quickly, we can get through their lines and get into some really good areas. But we didn't do it enough in the first half. So it was just a case of reinforcing that. Like I said, it was an issue for us in the first half, dropping underneath short, and they got in too many times to turn. So once we organised that and put a greater pressure on the ball from behind and with our front players, then we were in for a lot of that second half able to play in half a pitch. So and then our positioning was really good and got into some really good areas. So yeah. My only disappointment was that we didn't go on and win the game.
Could you have done much more though against 10? As you say how difficult it is and the way they play. Could you have done anything better in that scenario?
No. I think, as I said, the subs made a brilliant impact. I thought Dimi coming into the game was outstanding. You know, he's a threat. Christian Fuchs with his quality on the side, but it's how you should play against that low block and 10 men, and these players have shown that when they played against 10 men. The structure of the team is good. They keep the patience, and I thought they worked it really well. But just the final ball would have, as I said, got us the second goal, but unfortunately it wasn't to be.
Did you think it was a red card, and how anxious were you when your goal went to VAR for so long?
Well, first it was a clear red card. I think that I don't think young Eddie tried to make the challenge that he did. He's obviously stretching for it, but I think you can clearly see, you know, from a bit out, the ball's bounced up, stretching his leg, and just thankful that JJ wasn't injured, you know, worse than the challenge that he had. So I felt it was a red, and of course when the VAR is there, there's always gives you that doubt when they have a look. But like I say, I thought we worked it really well. It was a great ball by Dimi, and Jamie does what he does best.
Lastly, what does a point do for you overall?
Well, I think it's huge for us. You know, Arsenal, as you see, have been on a really good run, playing with big confidence. But we've been able to come here after a tough game at the weekend, come away, play well. Can't win the game, but we don't lose it, so it's really good for the spirit. And we'll now get ready and go into the game at the weekend. But I think it gives us great confidence again to continue with this mindset and just stay focused on the next game.
Not only do we really appreciate you speaking to us, but especially in the pouring rain. Brendan, really appreciate it.
No worries. Thanks, Jack.
Thank you, Brendan.
Yeah, he's getting a soaking, but he's got a point to go back to Leicester. One he describes as a huge point and terrific for spirit.
Out of the two managers, he'll be the one that'll be chuffed at this result, to be honest with you. It keeps them in the battle. They've been struggling of late, especially before the last game. To get going, two, to find
5 wins in 18.
There you go. So it's a great draw, to be honest with you, especially going to the Emirates on the way that they've been playing. They've been winning. They've been in the ascendance, scoring goals as well. So it would be a great result. At the end of the day, he'll be the one that's more happy out of the two.
And as you mentioned, Arsenal started so well on the front foot, had the goal through Aubameyang, and they were in control at that stage.
Yeah, they were, and I was very surprised to hear Brendan say that even when it was 11 against 11, he thought that they were the better team, because I thought that in this period of the game, Arsenal were very much the better team, and if they had been a little bit more ruthless, they really exploit the two centre-halves here. if they'd been a bit more ruthless with the chances that they got, and we're talking good chances, then we're talking, you know, it could have been 3-0 on another day. It wasn't. And when that happens, you know you have got a problem, especially when they've got someone like Vardy up front. That's his 10th goal against Arsenal in 10 games. And, you know that they're going to get a chance. You could say, could they have got closer to Demarai Gray on the edge there? Maybe they were tired because they're down to 10 men. Could you get closer to him? Didn't happen. In the end, they got the goal. And I think a draw against Leicester now, in the way that Leicester have played and in the top 4 and everything like that, is we have to take it now. You have to take that as a good result.
You talk about those chances. There were some good opportunities in that first half as well, when you look back on that.
Yes, I think here he's taken a bit, an extra touch there, and it kind of closes out Saka's angle. You know, and again, this one, I think that this, you have to say, it's a great save from Kasper, but it's at a good height. It's in the middle of the goal. I'm thinking maybe goalkeeper's left might have been better for him. I feel that the form he's in, he just felt maybe he just needed to hit the target. But when you've got a goalkeeper like that, for me, you have to try and find corners. Again, that was a good save, missed kick from Hector there. But like I say, from here, I'm feeling like goalkeeper's left. My natural reaction for me would be to there. Kasper's done well to react to that. It's a good save. Could have easily have gone in. This, for me, he's got to be heading that lower. It's brilliant height for the keeper. He's not caused him any problems. And I feel when you look at those chances, for me, I'll be probably very disappointed that we didn't win that game.
OK, you can understand his disappointment. He was talking there about a period before half-time, 3 minutes when he felt there should have been a red card. We can only find 2 incidents that he could possibly be referring to, Wrighty. These are they. So what do you think? That's Johnny Evans on Lacazette.
That's just clumsy, I think. I don't think
that's probably a yellow card.
And then this from Vardy.
That's just purely accidental, that one. You can see Jamie Vardy's... Look, Jamie Vardy's just... He's slipped. He can't... He's not trying to kick him in the face. So that's accidental as well. So... Wow.
You can't see...
Wow.
I think that one's accidental. I can't see much in that one. When you're falling over and you've lost control of your legs, kind of. You're not. I don't know how you're supposed to stop from where they're actually going. And then the first one could possibly be a yellow card. I think if the referee had seen it and Johnny Evans, if it had given the yellow card, I think Johnny Evans would have held his hand up and said, "Yeah, it's a yellow card," but red card. Not sure about that.
He did say, you'd already said, that he's frustrated they didn't kill that game off in the first half.
And that is what, you know, we can say whatever we want about the sending off, which it was sending off in the end, whatever he says about his age and stuff, and, you know, but the fact is that you look back at that game in the end, whatever he says about his age and stuff, and, you know, but the fact is that you look back at that game and you'll look back and say chances were missed. And that is where Arsenal have to be more ruthless in that department for me, because, you know, the creativity in the past has not been great, and that's why we've been so dependent on Aubameyang. But tonight, the way they played, they deserved another couple of goals, and that would have taken the sting out of Leicester. Arsenal may have been able to then control the game a bit more and maybe catch them again a couple of times. But the longer it went on, a team like Leicester's, you're going to start thinking, you know what I mean, we're still in this. And they did. They came out in the second half. They controlled it a lot better, and the pressure was going to tell in the end. And
it means that they're only 2 points behind Wolves, but they could have gone level with Wolves tonight, and they could have been 3 behind Manchester United. Missed opportunity. Is that the last sort of top 4 hurrah in terms of that? I think maybe, yeah. I think, yeah. You know what this league's like. You know, no one expected us to beat Wolves the other day. We beat them, but you have to keep going. Like he said, you just need to take each game as it comes. There's a lot to take from that first half. You know, you just want it to go a little bit longer and be a bit more ruthless. But, you know, I don't want to be too negative about it. You know, it's only disappointing because I think we could have easily won the game, but we didn't lose it. And I think that's more important. OK, let's...